YouTube, what up, YouTube? So I'm here watching No Jumper. Shout out to my line too. I'm watching No Jumper YouTube, and they're having a discussion about the whole Rkelly situation. I find this absolutely terrifying because the angle that these people are taking are part of the community. So you ask what's worse, because in certain states, the consensual age, the lowest in the United States, is 16. I know in New York it's 17, but in Jersey and Maryland it's 16. So you gotta ask yourself a question about why and how come people that are advocates for the community get to talk and get to judge people that are going for, I guess, a girl that's younger. All right, let me see.
Yeah, a little bit. Like he didn't have to settle out a lot of stuff. And like I said, I'm not too familiar with like his situation. We don't know what his public was. I know he said he was getting beat out of money at one point by attorneys. He said he wasn't making no money. Can you look?
Okay, so yeah, it was after that.
He was only acquitted of the one 16-year-old, right?
She wasn't 16. She was 13. She was like 13 at the time.
So I just want you to pay attention to their body language, especially this out of shape fat guy right here to the right. You know, I think honestly and truthfully, people like him that is just so hell bent on going for R. Kelly in this situation, not knowing the true facts. They saying she's 16, they saying she's 13, she could have been 18, like whatever it is. It's just, you gotta notice the body language that these type of people, they go for the same gender in intercourse, whether it's a person that looks like them or a cross dresser, I guess. And now he got a mouthful to talk about, you know, what he think is right and wrong, and you're entitled to that. But at the end of the day, as drunk and high as you are, you're gonna have a mouthful of a train in your face. You understand where this is going? Like, I don't get it, honestly and truthfully, because y'all boys is sitting up here saying, well, you know, I think it's disgusting he's going after a 16 and 17-year-old when all you're doing is getting older, and plus, by law, it's legal in certain states. Like, you know, like, not to justify what's going on with R. Kelly, because I don't know what's going on. And also, the situation with R. Kelly is very hetero. So it seems like for some reason, this is the problem with the community. Like, y'all want to be accepted, and y'all want everybody to talk about, you know, being open, I guess, to same gender affairs. However, when it comes to something hetero, y'all got a mouth full of toxic. You feel me? Like I'm just being 100% real. Like, I don't want a person involved in my life or talking about me if your priority or your interest or your fetish or your crave is to have a same gender affair, or if the person is a trans or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is my problem. This is why people get punched in their mouth, because what you do in the dark comes to the light, and it also shows. So, for instance, As you can see, I was hurt as a little kid via celebrity at a young age, right? I was told, like, you have a scar, like, I don't really want to date you, but you're cute or whatever. You know, that could hurt anybody. Like, if I wasn't as handsome as I am, like, even when I was a little kid, like, I was told I was handsome or whatever it is, like, what about a person that doesn't get that compliment and that treatment? You understand where I'm coming from? Like, and then they get a scar or a laceration on their face or their head, and the person is a heterosexual, like, like, think about that, right? And then this is the other angle. So if there's a person that missed out on their childhood or missed out, and didn't get what other people get because this person has a scar, then how fair is that to judge them if some type of interest is expressed in them later down the line? For instance, right now it's the 4th of July. I mean, I don't celebrate holidays or birthdays or nothing like that. I really don't like it. That's just me personally. I don't go to funerals. I don't like none of that stuff, But every time I used to go out, I used to get targeted all the time. I got targeted all the time, especially in the summertime. Like, when I used to go out with my uncle and stuff like that, people used to stop me and be like, "Yo, he's Native American. Look at color of his skin and stuff." So, and then when they see the scar on my head, because at first you couldn't see it, because I didn't get like attacked with an object by somebody, so it doesn't have no color. It's just missing skin because something had fell on me. As it opposed when I came back to New York, you see this scar. This one has color in it because somebody struck me with something from behind after we fought. I got jumped. I actually got set up, right? In the same city, that this celebrity marked me here. Like, he just got a crazy following and everybody knows me. So I keep getting subconscious in New York. Like, this is why I hate New York. So now, my point is, this dude right and them, they have a bunch to talk about when it comes to, the Rkelly situation, and they don't even know the facts of the situation. I'm not justifying Rkelly's actions. I'm not saying anything. I don't know how old the girls was. I don't know if that was Rkelly because his brother showed us that all he has to do is like play with his hair. Like, he cut his hair one time and he looked just like Rkelly. So the videos is in black and white, and you really can't see the face or nothing like that. And that's what Rkelly is saying. He's saying it's not me. He wants to say it's my brother. Just like O.J. Simpson wants to say, well, I didn't kill Nicole. That was my son. If you look, when she got killed, he had an older son. A son that was old enough to pull that homicide off. Now, my point about this whole situation is, when I was younger or whatever, I'm getting fucking blindsided and like stared at by dudes. I remember what is it, 106 in Park. If y'all remember Free, I met Free, right? I had went to Riverbank Park. The N1 tournament was there, and it was the celebrity basketball game. Like, Ron Artest gave me a shirt and stuff. But who was there? Peter Guns and Corey Guns. And just so happened years later after that, they daughter moved in the same complex in Yonkers. Her name is Whitney or whatever. So it was Free. She was there, and she just kept staring at me. I was young as hell. I was barely in high school or whatever. And she had this, like, I forgot what they said he was. He was Peruvian. He was a handsome fella, he had long hair, his hair touched to his ass or whatever. Like, the nigga was a handsome fella or whatever. And Free, he was holding his hand, and Free was just like admiring him or whatever. And then I walked in, and it was the summertime. And somebody said it loud. Somebody said, "Oh my God, look what color he is." So she looked at me. So Free looked at me or whatever. And she was staring, like she had him, like the dude or whatever, holding his hand or whatever. And then she called Corey over there, and then Corey went to her. So I'm face to face with Corey, and my father started talking to Peter Guns. My father was like, "Damn, you sure you're not my father? You're not my son's father?" And they both started laughing. So I'm staring at Corey, I'm staring at the dude, and I'm staring at Free. And Free was she just started smiling at me or whatever, but she had the dude by her hands or whatever. And then she looked up and she see my scar and her mouth dropped like it was inappropriate to me. And my father was like, "It's all right, son. It's all right. They're going to do that when they see that on you. Because you really couldn't see it. Like, you really can't see it when I turn Aberranian red or whatever." So they start staring at me, and Corey Gunn started staring at me too. And then he seen it, and then everybody mouth dropped because I had the laceration or whatever. So they seen the scar or whatever. And I felt like some type of way, because I'm like, hold on. I couldn't figure Free out, because when she see me from afar, she was staring at me at the color I was. And then when she seen the scar, like, her face totally changed. Like, but she's holding this other dude's hand, this other little kid's hand. We all about the same age. I think about probably maybe a year older than Corey, maybe. And the other kid, we still don't know who he was or whatever. He was staring at me too. And then Ron Artest came over there and he gave me a shirt, because everybody seen it transpire. Like, it was halftime, everybody's talking, and everybody seen it transpire or whatever. And then I started walking around the gym, and then my father was like, "It's all right." He's like, "It's all right. You got a scar on your head. You got hurt when you was a baby. It's all right." And he was like, "But you nice in basketball." So everybody started looking for the scar, and he seen it, and everybody's mouth started dropping like, damn. And then one older lady or whatever, she's like, "That's a damn shame how beautiful that little kid is. And y'all, the first thing y'all look at is this scar on his head, and y'all all up here looking for it." So that shit made me feel some type of way even more. Like, I'm like, oh no. But what makes me feel worse about this situation, I'm about to keep it 100 with you, is this is what I was getting haunted, you know? Like this fat bastard right here. Like, on your spare time, you're out here having sex with transgenders, right? And you're thinking about a dude that has no interest in the transgender. And that is what's the matter with the situation.
They waited till she got old enough.
You see how invested he is with it? This is how they justify themselves. Ladies and gentlemen. People that are part of the community, and people that they wanna feel at one with their self, because they're not content on living their actual life. You feel me? Like, how they live in the dark, they don't want to live it in the light. They don't want to admit it, like, that they like what they like. They go and they target people that has nothing to do with their situation, and it looks like it's the opposite. So if I'm a 30 or 40 or 50 or 60-year-old man in the age of consensual sex, in like certain states is like probably like 16, 17, that's the youngest you could go. That means a 16-year-old cannot have no intercourse with a 12 or 13-year-old, even though they're close in age. The 16, 17-year-old can actually have intercourse with a 50 or 60-year-old person. You see what I'm saying? That's the law. That's the rule. With these people here, they don't feel at one with themselves by fulfilling their sexual, I guess it's an appetite or a craving for whatever gender that they crave, and they're not content with talking in the light about it and coming out in society about it. They're not content with it, so they automatically go to something this right here. They go straight to this situation where a female is younger than a dude, and they talk about it like it's the worst thing in the world to try to deflect. It's a technique of deflecting and trying to justify what you're doing. Because honestly and truthfully, you people are up here with crosses on. Y'all talking about God, this, that, and the third. And in Leviticus, it says mankind shouldn't lay with mankind. Womankind shouldn't lay with womankind. Mankind shouldn't lay with womankind and mankind at the same time. You see what I'm saying? And the Quran, it speaks in the same thing. It says the same thing. Y'all shouldn't be, basically, a man shouldn't be with a man, a woman shouldn't be with a woman. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not justifying like the P word. I don't know if the censorship is gonna allow me it, but then you have degrees and levels of that P word also, because what's worse, a homo P word or a hetero P word? You see what I'm saying? What's worse? A man that's a 50-year-old man targeting a dude, like a little kid that's a male just like him, or targeting a little female that's a female and that's opposite from a male. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what they used to do back in the day. Like the family, if it was a poor family, they used to raise their daughter, to go for a wealthy person that was older. But at the end of the day, the older person that was wealthy, he didn't have a life either. He was groomed to be alone, and that the family is going to find his wife for him. So it's not like back in the day when they used to get married and the age levels and the age discrepancy was crazy. Like homie was a thought, like he done smashed like 700-800 girls, and now he's just about to have this one girl. He was a virgin. You feel me? He was in a strict family, and he was probably a late bloomer, and now he has the opportunity to get a woman or whatever, and she's younger and she's pure. That was the whole thing. This is my problem with these people, like with marriage and your little evil ass kids that you have. You're doing it backwards. You're both supposed to be virgins. Then you're both supposed to have your baby after you get married. It just shows the purity of the situation. Now, what y'all doing it ass backwards. Y'all losing y'all V's, y'all having babies, and then some of y'all are getting married, and then y'all still wondering why it's not working. So, this is the community. Y'all sit up here and y'all do things ass backwards and wrong and try to justify your actions. So, if you're confident to sit up here on a radio or on a podcast and talk about somebody else's relationship or life, or sexual life or whatever, and you want to shed a light on the discrepancy of ages, then you should have the confidence to talk about what you enjoy behind closed doors. Because, quite frankly, if you're enjoying it, you're enjoying it. But you need to tell somebody like me, because I don't want to be associated with you. Because I don't want to talk to you. They be like, oh, what's so bad about same-sex or same-gender affairs? That's just it. If I'm a male and a dude is doing something with another male, and it's, you see what I'm saying? If a male is doing something with another male, and then after he's done, or after they done doing what they doing, you don't think that is wrong that he is thinking about the next male? So you mean to tell me you're not going to look at somebody else and be like, oh, that person's attractive, or that person is least attractive? On this live, I just admitted that the person that I seen with Eve came off as attractive. I mean, not Eve Free, came off as attractive because she's holding her hand, and he had features where you'd be like, I think Shorty could get girls. Like, when I get homeboys, like, it's not like I'm attracted to them. It's like, we got to go get some chicks now. We could be the flyest dudes walking on campus, the flyest dudes in the park, the flyest dudes in the party. It doesn't mean anything if you're not getting the flyest chicks. Period, point blank. So when I built my army, and I get homeboys or whatever, I meet homeboys during, like, basketball, boxing, and stuff like that. And like, you want to get up, or you want to come chill with me, my whole scheme is to go get girls. If it's 3 of us and we fly dudes, we got to go get 3 fly girls. That's just what it is. So that's why you compliment, you acknowledge somebody. So, but the other hand is, there's going to be a dude that's going to think you're fly, another dude is fly, and he's probably going to be sexually attracted to you. And that's what we need to be put on the table. So you could, like I said, if you don't accept yourself, how do you expect somebody to accept you? So now, it's absolutely unfair, because you get to sit up here and live your fantasy, right? And you just mad that these little pretty girls ain't picking you. Because quite frankly, DJ Academics, I think he was older than the age of 21 when he said he would knock down a 17-year-old. Because at the end of the day, he's only 21 and she's only 17, supposedly, when that happened. Y'all would be in school together, meaning college. I'm dead serious, because once you turn 22 and she graduates and she's a freshman, you're a senior. It happens all the time. And what happens in college is, as the dude or even the female is graduating from college and he or she get a job and he was messing or she was messing with somebody that was younger, all he does is hold the fort down and help her get through school and then build up so they can have a relationship, because when she graduates, she's going to need a job and she's going to need a foundation. So that's my point. I'm not talking about, R. Kelly's using his stardom and his famousness and his riches and his wealth to do whatever he's doing, because I don't know for a fact. I wasn't there. I honestly and truthfully, I seen the video when I was a little kid. I was in high school. I was under the age of 17 when I seen it. I seen the video because it was in the barbershops. And everybody started showing it. It didn't even, honestly and truthfully, the girl was wild, big, and thick. And I was a little 17-year-old, little 16-year-old. I was little. I had a growth spurt in college. The girl looked older. I still don't know. You feel what I'm saying? I still don't know. And R. Kelly, with the person that they said looked like R. Kelly, I promise it didn't look like it. It really did not look like him at first. I didn't even know he had a brother. I found out he had a brother years later, that R. Kelly had a brother. So then, I can't go back and watch the video that we seen when I was in high school. But then again, it could have been a nigga's brother. I'm being dead serious. I seen the joint for myself. But my whole problem is the audience. Why are you judging? When they judge Tiger, they judge Tiger for the Kylie situation. Now, I don't know the age offhand what California is. I could find out. Maybe it's 18 and she was 16. All right. The only thing that's making that wrong is the state saying that it's illegal, right? Right or wrong? Honestly and truthfully. Because in Maryland and in New Jersey, the age of consensual sex is 16. So meaning the 16-year-old can mess with a 100-year-old. If the nigga's still up and kicking, they gonna mess around with each other, but the 16-year-old can't mess with a 12 or 13-year-old, and they're close in age because you're only getting older. And women, they develop in puberty faster and earlier than men. So you can't sit up here and keep knocking men because you act like girls don't want to have sex. Girls want to have sex before dudes do. That's what I'm saying. Their hormones kick faster than dudes. You see what I'm saying? That's all they think about. They control sex. You gotta really think about it. If you take some sex from a girl, you feel what I'm saying? It's either she gave it to you or it's rape. You have to think about it like that. That's the law. That's the law of the land. You people are sickening. So you got this fat bastard right here. Do you see how active he is? But on a drunk night, he would go take down a train. That's my point. Because there's something called the Kruger when an older woman is coming for a younger dude. You see, he's saying it with a smile. You see, now I done had a few Krugers. I done had a few Krugers where them women was older enough to be my mom, and they was close to my mom's age when I was younger. When I was younger, I had Krugers. You see what I'm saying? And they daughters was bad as hell. They daughters was I officially would want their daughters, but I was just slightly older than their daughter. So what do you think as a man what I want? You think I want this old, honestly and truthfully, that's why I didn't work out. You think I want this old used condom bitch? She still got a little, style to her? Or you think I want some fresh, young, pretty pussy? Honestly, come on. All right, excuse my mouth, excuse my French, but fuck it. I'm going to just be real with you. It's not fair. And then you have this situation where you have certain girls like homosexual dudes or bisexual dudes. That's not fair either. Because now I was approached and girls used to tell me in college, they used to say, Juju, we could tell you really don't, swing on that other side, but it's all right, just because it's just sex. Bitch, no, just because I like girls. That was the thing with me. I had a preference of girls. I didn't care what color they was. I just love a fat ass. You feel me? She could be subpar. I was getting pretty girls. I always get a pretty girl regardless or whatever. Scar or not, whatever. Bald or not, bald, dreads, waves, whatever. I can always pull a pretty girl. And I feel like it's because my mom loves me. That's why I think I could get a pretty girl, because my mom loves me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the girl always had to have a fat ass. And girls got mad. They be like, you don't never talk to nothing skinny or chunky or chubby or whatever. It's just because it just worked. You feel me? So now you see me getting a girl with a fat ass, so you come out your mouth and tell me to go for a transgender? Like, how disrespectful, nasty, and evil are you? So lo and behold, I do mess with skinny girls. I do mess with thick girls. I do. And the butt ain't always got to be fat. But if a girl with a fat ass want to talk to me, and she cute or she subpar cute or whatever, or she got good hair but her face ain't all that. And honestly, truthfully, the girls that I had, like, none of them were ugly. None of them were ugly. I had one girl that they call ugly, and the only reason I did something with her is because my friend, it was a dare, and I don't even care. It was college. You lived your life, and that's what this shit. That's what happened. She was sweating my friend from Cleveland, right? And she kept sitting on his bed, like, cause we had a co-ed dorm. She kept sitting on his bed. My friend had 2 girlfriends, and the girlfriends knew about each other, but they used to try to kill my friend, honestly and truthfully. I'm not going to say his name, but they used to, like, throw his stuff out. They used to hit him and stuff like that. He wasn't from New York. And they used to walk into his room, and his roommate would have both of the girls, the girl that I'm talking about and his current wife, be in the room. So they used to call my phone and be like, Juju, who is this little ugly ass girl on his bed, this, that, and the third? You better talk to him. I'm coming with my gun. I'm coming with my knife. Like, this, it used to go down in VA. So I would be right with my friend on the phone. I'd be like, I'm not with him. Y'all need to call him. I won't tell him. They be like, you better not tell him we talking to you, Juju. I'd be like, I'm not. And the bitch is on speakerphone, and I'm letting him hear, and I'm mad. I'm like, listen, look what you got me into. I got my own chick problem, son. Like, what's really good? And he'd be like, damn, Juju, I gotta stay at your house or stay in your room. I would have to hide the nigga out in my dorm room. I would hide him out. He go sleep in my bed in my dorm. I give him my key, and then I go sleep in his fucking bed. So I was like, yo, enough is enough. Like, so the girls will pop up and be like, Juju, where is he? And I'd be like, I'm sleeping in his room. So they'll run to my room and start knocking on my door. I'll call him. I'd be like, listen, don't open the door. His dumb ass will open the door. They come in my room. Then they'd be like, Juju, I'm sorry. I'm like, the only reason. And then we had the beautiful lie, like, he was getting away from the girl because she's sweating him. So I let him stay in my room, and she know I don't play that shit. So that's the only reason why I took her to the room. I said, listen, you're not about to, and I was talking to the girl. I said, you're not about to have his girlfriends calling me, stressing me out. I'm like, what is it do you want? I'm like, are you not getting laid? And she's like, no, I'm not. Like, nobody's, like, man enough. They always got a preference, this, that, and the third. So, long story short, I drunk 2 40 ounces right in front of my homeboys in the room. She came in. My man started complaining. I said, yo, it's over. I'm like, yo, I'm taking you to my room, and I'm smashing you. And then after we smash, leave my friend alone. And she was like, okay, because at the end of and that's what she said. She said, okay, at the end of the day, she's like, I just want some sex or whatever. But you and your friend, she was talking about my friend. She was like, y'all are the 2 cutest boys on the campus. And she was like, all the girls got a problem with y'all being friends. So that was new news to us. So I'm like, I was drunk. I really wasn't trying to hear that shit. I'm like, yo, come on. And my friend passed me a pack of condoms or whatever. I was like, yo, I got some in my pocket. And that's what I did. She wasn't all of that or whatever. But she felt good after the situation. And she left my friend alone. So it was to do justice. And then I told the other girls too. I told my man's girlfriends. I'm like, yo, I hit that. And they was like, no, you did not. You did not hit that for him. I'm like, I hit that for him. I'm like, because she didn't even want meats like that. Damn, I said his name. She didn't even want him like that. She just wanted to have sex. Period. She was like, we the 2 cutest boys. And she heard I was packing 2 for a little nigga. And that's what she was looking for. That's what it was. But this is the problem that we go through.
So they said Rkelly paid her off, but then it left that he was acquitted. So that's my thing, right? It's with OJ. Now OJ we know is a fucked up nigga. But OJ got sentenced to what?
See, the OJ situation has nothing to do with it, and that's what I mean. His son might have did that, but DJ Academics try to make it seem like it was something wrong. So basically, what you're saying is, in the state of New York, if the age of consensual sex is 17, right, and you're 39, 40, you're saying that is wrong morally as a person, but you can't convict nobody in the justice system on it. So, like, this is the dumbness, this is the stupidity in the United States of America that I hate so much. And lo and behold, I know these dudes right here, they take down the train. This is what they crave for. They don't crave for a girl. It's hard to get a, see what I'm saying? Nowadays, it's hard to maintain a relationship with a girl. So what you have is you have a bunch of males, a bunch of dudes that want to mistreat girls. Like, they want to get them fired from their job. They want to, get them beat up. Or they want to, like, blackmail them or something like that. All because they don't really care about a relationship with a girl. They know at the end of the day, if they need to have sex, they can go to a transgender and they can get the sex real easy. Whether you're paying for it or whether it's free. They know it for a fact. They know it for a fact. And some of them, their preference, that's their preference. Their preference is a transgender. A person that's on hormones. So this person that's labeled as a transgender is on female estrogen hormones. So the person now sounds like a woman. They went through a biological and hospital change. You see what I'm saying? Like, they probably got it removed or whatever. Or maybe they still got it. And this is what they do. They go down and they have their way. And then it takes the moral ethnicity of a female out of life in society. Because, let's face it, girls like girls too. Girls like girls. They eat each other out. They play with dildos. They do all types of shit. And I'm just being real with you. But my point is, it's called the community for a reason. Why are you crossing over, right, to this community and judging these people on the age discrepancy when you're morally wrong?
That's what we saying. That's how we
Jay-Z and Aaliyah, Jay-Z and Beyonce. You don't see nobody talking about that.
The Surviving Rkelly part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 came out, and it was a numerous amount of women speaking out. So now he going to court for them, not old girl.
See, this is another thing. You see how the dark-skinned dudes always want to go for the light-skinned dudes, right? And that's what the mother of the dark-skinned dudes want. So the mother comes at me, right? She comes at me like she's a Kruger, and she's trying to like have intercourse with me while she lets her son go at a younger, prettier woman. This is what I'm talking. This is the shit that I'm talking about. This what's the needs to leave my country. Like, you're targeting women that look like me or whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like, you got your son targeting me, and you got your son targeting women that look like me, and you're targeting me. And then once you see an Indian woman messing with an Indian man, y'all got something to say. It's racism, right? But you don't say nothing about the Hispanics, and you say nothing about the Jamaicans, and you say nothing about the Africans. When the African is messing with an African, is nothing, right? When the Middle Eastern is messing with the Middle Eastern, is nothing. But once you see a Native American, a man that looks like me, and I go for a Native American woman that looks like me, you want to call it racist, right? And you don't want to accept it. When the Asian community, the Chinese people, the Japanese, the Korean people, when they just messing with each other, you call it racism, but you let it be. But when you see me, right, you want to target me because I'm going after a girl that's the same ethnicity as me in my homeland. You see white people with blue eyes, right? A white woman and a white man with blue eyes, you say nothing about it, right? But you want to say something about me all the time because I got the prettiest looking women, period. When she's my color, when her hair color is my color and everything, and she looks like me, I got the prettiest woman that looks like me, but it's a problem. It's racism, right? But at the end of the day, you out here sucking a transgender. That's it, bro. I'm tired of it. It's disgusting. The world is disgusting. It's immigrants, right? Y'all come to the white man, and then when y'all have kids, y'all sit up there and y'all teach y'all kids not to like Indians. That's what it is. When you're a different type of race, a different type of ethnicity, y'all sit up there and y'all teach y'all own kids, right? Y'all own little kids, the little babies, not to like people like me. So newsflash, you came across the right one. I don't care what race you are. I don't like your kids. I don't give a fuck about them. Honestly and truthfully, I don't care nothing about your fucking kids. You could take your kids, you and y'all could go back to your fucking country. That's just what it is. You came over here to obey the white man, right? And the mutual agreement is to target the people that look like me, right? As bad as I want the white man going, and I can't have it done, I'll just rely on another country to do it, to exterminate all y'all motherfuckers, even if I'm here. But that's my point. Y'all all can leave my country. I just proved my point. Y'all sit up here and, you know, you got the dark-skinned people. Y'all go for the Spanish people or whatever, right? And then you see that I'm not down with it. And then you want to come target me. Get the fuck out of here. So moral of the story, you can leave my country, right? And take your little kids with you because I don't like your fucking kids anyway.